Hello, my little worms. I'm Day, and welcome back to Day Completes Tabs Campaign, the series in which I play through every Tabs Campaign level, one at a time, in order. And currently we're making our way through the spooky, scary Tabs Campaign that'll consume your soul. Hey, no, not with a U. There we go. You see, I'm making a joke because like the sun's called Soul, and the level's called Sun and Soul, and yeah. Oh, I'm so stupid. And the level we're attacking today is Sun. Praise the level. And also, yes, Cave is already unlocked, because a couple of minutes ago, while testing Sun, I accidentally beat the level. But at least that means my strategy is sound. And our opponents for today are Bone Mage, Bone Mage and Spear Thrower, 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 Bone Mage. I think you can see where this is going. Yes, it's just a lot of Bone Mages and a lot of Spear Throwers. And interesting for the strategy I have in mind, the Spear Throwers are actually the bigger threat. Even though normally it would be the Bone Mages. Actually, the Spear Throwers, because they do like slightly more damage with that like spear to what I'm using, it actually is a bigger threat. Isn't that interesting? And here's the team that I prepared now. And oh look, it's the first level we're actually using the Spooky faction. Woo! So originally my strategy was involving the Reaper, but let me just show you what happens when we try and actually use the Reaper here. So we know that they can immediately take out about 6 of the units on their tendrils, but the problem is the Bone Mages just end up doing a lot of damage to the Reaper slowly over time, and the Reaper costs way too much of our budget to really justify it with other units, so in the end this Reaper will just get taken out once they all sort of group up in the middle. So the Reaper just isn't really actually that helpful here, so instead I'm going to be using Swordcasters as a strategy, because I feel like those might work a little better because we can actually get a few of those compared to just like one Reaper. So we need to use some Swordcasters here. The problem is a Swordcaster will die to like 2 hits to a Spear Thrower, so that's a little bit problematic. Like, let's place one down just to show as like an example. So it'll hit that, but then it just takes like 2 spears and they're done, and that is not ideal. So the strategy that I came up with to avoid that problem is we put the cheapest unit we have, a Skeleton Warrior, in front of every single Spear Thrower around this entire circle. Unfortunately, it does mean that we can't afford 4 Swordcasters to put them on each quadrant. We are going to have to deal with only 3 Swordcasters, but having them not perish immediately is a pretty useful trade-off, I'd say. So then we put 1 Swordcaster here, we put 1 up here toward that way, and we put 1 over there. And now since we can't afford another Swordcaster, we're going to have to just deal with 2 Skeleton Archers to defend this bottom section. They're probably not going to do super well, but so long as they distract the bottom units and the Swordcasters finish the top thing, then the Swordcasters can come down and defeat the ones at the bottom. So that is the team, and since I accidentally completed with this team, I already kind of know it's gonna work, but maybe it won't. You never know with tabs. It's always very random, because like the unit's health bar and stuff like that will be like pretty randomized by their size, so maybe it won't work, but I have a lot of faith in this team, unlike most of my teams. And now it's time to let this battle commence and go in slow motion, because that sword's immediately going to that guy's chest. Yes! And now the Skeleton Warrior is probably not going to survive. They're going to get taken out like a second. Ooh, a second sword into that guy's chest. And now here comes the spear. As we watch the Swordcaster hit another guy, but yep. Ooh, you actually got taken out by this Bone Mage instead of the Spear Thrower, which means the spear is actually going towards this guy. Ooh, you avoided it. It only takes 2 of those to take them out, so that's not ideal. All right, let's speed this up and watch as our Swordcaster destroys these forces, as our other Swordcasters are hopefully doing the same in other areas. So you've taken you out as well. What's happening over here? Ooh, we lost that Skeleton Warrior, but I think it's just this Bone Mage versus 3 of our Swordcasters, and we've done it. Yeah, so we actually had all 3 Swordcasters survive, surprisingly. I don't think any of them were even hit. Wow, that's actually really surprising. In testing, like, only 1 survived, and he was 1 hit away from death, so yeah, this actually went even better than I expected. And surprisingly, hey look, one of our Skeleton Warriors actually survived. You guys were supposed to just be sacrificial pawns, but you made it. Good for you. Victory! You know what? The best part of this level is that we're finally back to actual, like, maps with decent lighting. Because, God, these last, like, spooky level ones, it's just been such dark lighting. It's terrible for making thumbnails and just not that interesting looking. And, finally, to be back under the sun. Where is it? There we go. As the level was named after. Sun. I don't know if it was named after the fact that we've gone back to light levels, or the fact that the enemies were in a big circle, or both, or just like any of that. No idea. But anyway, if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like, and why not subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Ring the notification bell. It does something. I still don't know what. And I'll be seeing you guys next time in the next level. I don't know why I said in. That's the Steam Roulette thing. Oops. So for now, goodbye everybody, and roll the outro.
I gave that bastard what he deserved. funeral. Fit for a king.